I want you to take this to heart. The people that I keep considering and I plan on and I'm thinking about inviting into this, inner circle, so to speak. I do respect you guys. Um, you and I have been born into the same system, blah, blah, blah. We both been indoctrinated, blah, blah, blah. Many of the tools you could use to benefit yourself are available to you, but most people don't have eyes to see. They haven't considered these things. In other words, this is why I keep saying people aren't cooking with fucking fire, among other things. One of the numerous analogies I rattle off. So what I consider doing is, if I let you guys into this thing, maybe show you, seminar 0 and 1, you get 2 videos back to back. So 2 minutes, ooh, yeah. And some people might still just dismiss these things, but back to point. Say I just give you guys those 2, and then I post a video with a question, and I wait for you guys to answer it. Based on the fact I've already asked test questions, and nobody has fucking answered them, the chances aren't good at all. I've cooked a couple up in my head and thought, in order to proceed, you have to answer the questions. Even the people who I do respect having to do with this stuff. You guys got lives going on, you got things going on, our masters are distracting us, and you might not give a fuck. You might not give enough of a fuck to do what I'm asking. Which means, again, just functionally dead in the water, just like most of the other shit I've left online. I could be wrong, but time has told me otherwise, but I could be wrong. These are thoughts that I'm kicking around. It's important to think about this shit, as I keep whining about. I shouldn't downplay it. Don't get me wrong, today's been a pretty good day. It's been nice. I've enjoyed it for the most part. With that in mind, I'm a crusty fucker, I'm grumpy. You would be too if you were doing these things and experiencing what I've been experiencing. You would be experiencing these things if you were speaking to things that reflect reality. If you guys looked into things and you understood some of this stuff, you would be chastised or you would be censored. Same difference, really, on the internet. And by people you know, like, and love. So, I'm still putting together the 10 minutes worth of videos. Angry me on the way home. Hold on, I'm going to wash my hands real fast. Angry me on the way home. Said to myself, well, for the most part, people haven't even seen the video that I recently left on there talking about that shit, because they don't click on the accounts. Not all of you, a couple of you do, and I appreciate it. More than I let on, probably most of the time. But most don't give a flying fuck. One of you reached out in excitement, and that means a lot, and I really appreciate you even taking the time to consider what I leave online. But angry me, everything comes in waves. Part of me thought, well, fuck it, I'll record this shit and I won't release it until I release the book. Fuck everything. That's what I just walked in thinking. I'll probably still put them online next Wednesday. I'm trying not to jerk you guys in a bunch of different directions. I'm overthinking it, but there's good reason to. It's only going to be 10 minutes. I'm probably going to leave I'm trying to whittle it down because I'm long-winded. There might be an additional 30 minutes broken up into 3 10-minute blocks in and of itself, and or less than that. Disclaimer statements and shit that people probably should think of in the event that you guys haven't, or you haven't heard me say it before, because that has happened. I've met people who frequent my accounts that have not heard me say things that I echo all the fucking time because it doesn't pop up in their feed. And that's terrifying. But I've been trying to be sweet about stuff because the folks that I want to let into this thing, I respect you guys. You guys have been putting in the time. So I've been trying to take the piss out of myself on that note. Not all of you are absolute internet strangers. In other words, I haven't met you in real life. Some of the people I plan to let in I've known for quite a while. But I'm still still on the fence. There's that unknown. I don't know if somebody's going to fuck me over on this and fuck over the information. There's no way of saying. And what I was going to say a moment ago, the 1 minute videos, the 10 of them, the 10-minute block, it will unlock doors for you that you will never fucking find. People do not understand. It will unlock fucking doors for you, and that's what I'm hesitant to do, because people have not figured this shit out. And one of those disclaimer videos I alluded to making was going to be me complaining that the people who I do respect, who I plan to let into this, also haven't figured out the test questions, which is discouraging. And for the most part, because I've uploaded a bunch of videos, the test questions have fallen towards the bottom of the stack, and a lot of people have just dismissed them. I thought about recording some more. I went on this epic fucking mission the other day and started doing that, and then told myself, why waste your time and energy and spin your wheels making this even more complicated, only to have people not answer the test questions, and then have that many more test questions out online. By the way, the test question where I gave you a whole bunch of bullet points to string together and give me one word, that's the easiest one. Those will teach you something fucking huge if you figure them out. Me doing that teaches you something. But most people don't realize that, and they don't fucking care. It's very discouraging. Very discouraging. I know I say shit like that all the fucking time. It's important to hear it because most people aren't thinking about these things at all. Because they're not experiencing these things at all. On a happier note, because I said today was a pretty good day, I've been trying to curb my diet in a lot of ways. And fucking Trader Joe's, I thought they got rid of the one pack of greens that I actually do like. And in other words, it doesn't have cholesterol and it doesn't have sodium in it. At least the packaging claims as much. And naturally, when you talk to people, they don't fucking have a clue. So every single employee I've talked to, and pardon me, I'm sitting in my boxers for a second. Not that that fucking matters. But every employee I talked to told me, oh yeah, we phased that out. They were just, bluffing. They had no fucking clue. They didn't look into it. They just assumed and or just lied to me to shut me up and move along, move along. This is how shit works. It's how people work, is what I'm getting at. Myself included, to varying degrees. I mean, I've done shit like that too. And there's been really annoying customers when I've worked in, customer service, who I've definitely just told them a fucking story to get rid of them. Yeah. Either way. I'm happy that they have it again. So there's that. The weather's been gorgeous. Hopefully it's the same wherever you guys are in terms of your space-time location. Those of you who keep hearing me out and keep coming back, keep considering the information, I really do appreciate it. I mean that. For the most part, I haven't sent out any invites, in case you guys are still wondering, or if you're like, what the fuck, you left me in the lurch. I didn't send any of those out yet. I was knocking out something here. It has to do with this. Let me see if I can dodge a bunch of stuff so you don't see it all. 1 second. Notes and what have you. The other day I left something online having to do with keyboards, if you guys remember that. And what I was going to do is I considered spelling something out for you, throwing you guys a bigger bone, and making it part of these 10 videos is what I'm kicking around right now. And that was what turned out to be the catalyst behind me not only being grumpy, but questioning whether or not I should spell it out for you guys. The other thing associated with this, or that stems off of this thought, is you got kids today who don't understand the difference between a guy and a gal. This is not a new agenda. It's decades old. It's older than that. And our masters have been chipping away at it steadily. And this is why what I was thinking about teaching you guys is so far removed, it quite literally does date back. I mean, to what I constantly whine about, having to do with the 16th century. It goes back to an earlier time than people have even considered, superficially on the internet. You don't hear people talking about that shit. It's like the video I left online recently. I just found a fucking cobweb. Sorry, it threw me off. I left a video online having to do with Vanguard and the BlackRock. And then I was comparing that to the Tavistock Institute, which also has to do with what I'm alluding to. And people don't talk about it because it's not shopped around. You're not supposed to understand that or think in terms of it. You're not supposed to think. This is a big fucking deal. And what I was thinking about showing you guys, it's a key. It's twofold, and they're both keys, and they open up two different doors that lead to the same room. That's one way to think of it. And I don't know if I should teach you guys this, especially in the first iteration. I'm me. I mean, I get excited about this shit. I've been wanting to teach people things for fucking forever. I do have a few people, which is exciting, but again, you guys haven't answered the test questions. But I just start running with it. It's the same with when people complain about, oh my god, dude, you have 60,000 posts in your fucking Instagram on my main one. Yeah, I get excited about this shit, and I want to just keep showing you things. Go without sleep, go without food, just show you things. Because it's exciting, it's neat. But then I started thinking about that, and then showing you guys what I'm talking about, having to do with these two keys and two doors and a room on the other side of each of them. You guys are going to want to tell your friends. You're going to want to tell people you're dating. You're going to want to do a lot of that shit. And it's going to be really hard not to. And I have no way of verifying whether or not you do or don't. And that's my problem. And it's a big fucking problem because you don't find this information anywhere. Just recorded a longer video about this. Grumpy me, I just don't know if I should show you guys a fucking thing. I don't know. Been at this a long time. There's a handful of you guys. I mean, there's a couple of you out there who have been keeping up. Some of you are taking notes. No one has answered the test questions. No one has come to me with quote-unquote information that riffs off of what I've already shown you guys, which you guys could do, which is less than encouraging. I don't know, I'm trying not to be hasty about this. Which I already was. Over 10 years of not showing you guys the bigger steps. And keep in mind, these are still initial steps, but it bleeds into bigger steps. But it's also going to be fucking pointless if you guys can't do something with some of the big steps I've already left online. Which brings me full circle to, maybe I shouldn't fucking do this. I don't know. I just don't know. What gets my goat is, I think most of this is the idealistic Pisces in me that wants to quite literally believe in this case that people mean well, they can use the information and think for themselves, and that would benefit you and I. And it's probably not going to be the case. Just handing you guys a shit ton of fucking answers. Maybe I'll slap this into the other video that I already recorded. Yeah, I just don't know. I'm eating walnuts, pardon me. Some of the stepping stones in these 10 videos, I mean, I think for you, I tie up loose ends and spell stuff out that you don't find in Kabbalah. You don't find in, I'm trying to think of another fucking system offhand, Freemasonry. You don't find these answers. You're not spoon-fed this shit, even if you're part of a boys' club. You're spoon-fed. It's very similar to what our masters do. Even though what our masters do on the box and on the small, the box and the big screen, they're further diluting it and dressing it up in a bunch of superficial ways to where you don't recognize what's what. And people don't simplify things, as I often say, simplify things, heathens. Keep it fucking simple, heathens. Simplify it. If you do that, then you start to see the forest for the trees. You know, the analogy I keep overusing. Hold on. This one's gross. Damn, that was a nasty walnut. But people don't do that. If they did, they'd start seeing why and how they're being taken for a ride, and then they'd also be able to build these things up. This is part of what I've been doing. And it's undeniably beautiful, but it's just fucking insane. It is. It really, really fucks you up. And I'm curious, I mean, it'd be interesting if other people understood this and went through it, but the point is to take the journey so that you see this for yourself. I mean, just throwing you guys these things. I'm so on the fence about it, and yet people apparently can't fucking figure these things out, which is fucking terrifying. If you see this and you do that, or I end up doing this, you see how fucking far gone we are and how far removed we are from what does reflect reality. I mean, at a blush, you can look around and people are dumb as fuck. They are so hopelessly fucking stupid that they are repeating absolute nonsense across the board. Anything you can think of. And opening your eyes to that. I mean, the point is for you to open your eyes, to have eyes to see, not for me to think for you so that you superficially see bits and pieces that I spoon fed you and then still lack the skill set that you need in order to work with it. Freaks me the fuck out. The other thing I'm thinking about is leaving it in a digital medium. I mean, this is such a big deal that you don't find this, like I said, in Kabbalah or Freemasonry. It's a fucking threat, spoon feeding this to the masses. But I'm leery putting it in a digital medium. I mean, somebody could hack the account as well. And or if somebody in the account that I decide to let in ends up not being trustworthy, I might see some of this online afterwards, which is a grave concern because people will fuck up the information. They will fuck it up. That's all time has fucking told me. And it just keeps reaffirming itself because people don't have the first fucking clue what's going on. They don't realize that they are the problem. Through and fucking through. All right, I'm going to splice this in there too. These are some of my thoughts today, and it's important to, think about these things. It's very important to think about these things.